Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It is BoomBar right here on your Boom Radio NG. My name is Dolupo, and I bid you a warm welcome to the bar today. It is Friday, whoop whoop, and it promises to be a very interesting one. We're going to be talking about quite a number of things. A lot of allegations are going around, and people are denying a few allegations about politics. Talk about politics that definitely is in the news. The EFCC is definitely busy. We're going to be talking about that. NNPC is planning to sell shares. I think they're set to be on the Nigerian Stock Exchange. I think the London Stock Exchange really soon. But we'll see where all that is going to quickly. Also, this matter of Professor Henry Nwosu, late Professor Henry Nwosu, does not look like is going anywhere anytime soon. Are they going about it the right way? Are they going about it the wrong way? We're going to be talking about that and a couple of other things. So sit back, relax, and enjoy today's show as we're going to be diving straight into a lot of happenings around the world, or more like a lot of happenings in Nigeria and a few of them around the world. So enjoy. With me in the studio today is Sola Rogers.
You make it sound as if Nigeria is not part of the world. A lot of happenings around the world. I know Nigeria and the world. Is Nigeria not part of the world? What's really happening? What's your plan?
Okay.
You are trying to segregate Nigeria now. You cannot alienate us. Possible.
How did we get to this point?
Thank God it's Friday. It's the BoomBar. And of course, 10 is happening. 10. In Yoruba, they say mewa shele. And that's our way of saying, man, there's a whole lot that's going on. 10 is happening.
Oh, God. Anyway, we're going straight into today's gist. And first things first, just wanted to announce that President is inaugurating an 18.8 billion naira Buruku Boko water project in Benue State.
Father Lord, forgive me. I should not be like this, but I will say it still. You see, in my own mother tongue, Buruku is not a good thing.
Oh my God.
Buruku means bad, like wicked, like. But I'm sorry to the people of Buruku. I made a joke. Please forgive me. What's important is that you guys are lucky that it's happening and it's going down live. I'm glad that you get a chance at least to get some, basic things that you should have gotten decades ago. Thank God that they remembered you this time around.
Okay.
Thank you to the people who made it happen.
So now let's go to a few things happening in the National Assembly. If you followed this week, there's quite been a lot of gist from the House of Reps and the House and the Senate. But before we get to Senate, let's start from the Green Chamber. And the Northern Youth Council of Nigeria, anybody that's been following news has known that the House of Reps had passed a lot of constitution amendment bills, a past second reading at the House this week, over 100, if I'm correct, about 113 specifically as past second reading in the House of Representatives. And quite a lot of people have had a lot of things to say about some of these bills. But before we move on from that, another group, another Youth Council of Nigeria, has now rejected the proposed bill to convert 37 local government LCDAs in Lagos to local government areas.
Can we find out what their reasons are for rejecting?
So, according to
Northern
them,
Youth Group.
Yeah, and Lagos, yeah, you wonder, what's the correlation? So, according to them, they're saying that the proposed bill is unfair and a threat to national unity.
Did they explain how?
No. Whoever explains those kind of things.
Yeah, but they called the whole press conference or they put out a press release. They must have at least, helped us, people who need information. A northern youth group is saying that 37 existing local council development authorities, they're like local governments, but the constitution has not recognized them.
Yeah. So according to them, they're saying that this
Exactly.
move
There has to be
only
something.
benefits Lagos State, thereby undermining the equity and fairness in governance, and might lead to fragmentation and nationwide division. Please, I just have one question to ask. If I am correct, Kano State as of today has 44 local governments. Oyo State has 33 local government areas. How has there 44 or Oyo State's 33? How has it affected nationwide unity? I'm being
What's the name of this northern group?
Northern Youth Council of Nigeria.
There's always one council inside everything. You are counselled by this council.
At times, and the funny thing is that at times I don't even have a problem with what they say. It's just like I say, it's not a problem to be contrarian, to have a divergent view. Just come up with a reasonable one. That's it. That's all I ask. Like, just can we come up with a more reasonable reason why you want something? And it could actually be looked into. These bills are probably most likely going for public hearing, and they're going to different houses of assembly. But the honest truth is that Lagos State might be small in landmass, but the population that Lagos State has, no state in the country has it. What does that mean? It means that there's so much that there are only 20 local governments that get allocation from the federal, and you're looking at states that get a lot more through their local government areas, and they don't have to deal with, or they don't have to sort, they don't have to deal with as many as many people as Lagos State has. So I think that it makes sense. This matter has been going on since, if I'm correct, 1999, somewhere around when the current president was a governor. This matter has been going on since then. I think that it needs to be reviewed. But if you come up with a more superior argument. That's it. It's not, the problem is not that there's something wrong with what you said. It is, what's your reason? Let it be. Don't let SR have something to laugh about.
Oh, so I should be crying. It's cry that you want me to be crying. You see, God will just show you your enemies quick like that. You don't even need to go and look for trouble.
There's no enemy anywhere.
That they should let me be crying.
I didn't say you should be crying.
You
I said was that
they should not allow me laugh.
Yes, that we don't have
What's the
something
opposite
to
of
laugh
laughter?
about.
What's the opposite of laughter?
Are you laughing at the moment? No. Are you crying at the moment? No.
my dear, I am laughing and crying. I am crying laughing. You know, look, my own take, Shao, regardless of this thing, is that why do we think that everything has to be politicized? The creation of more local government simply means better governance. And if the Constitution recognizes them or not, they're already in existence as LCDAs.
But the thing is that, they will not get allocation from the federal, which they do not get normally. It is the 20 local government, money of 20 local governments that these LCDAs share from.
Uh-huh.
So they're going to be getting more money.
Uh-huh.
So Lagos will be getting more money.
And Lagos is getting more people. Lagos is getting more people. They need to build more schools. They need to build more primary healthcare centers. They need to clear trash that all these people are generating. The population of Lagos is more than some countries in Africa. But the land mass, look, again, you don't have to politicize everything. You guys are I think you're jokers. If you had gone back to look at how states were created in Nigeria, and should be wondering how Kano still has that many after all the balkanizations that has happened in this country. And it's not even about the number. The number of local governments in Kano, are they functioning? Are you calling them out? Are you holding them accountable?
Mm-hmm.
It is not something that should be up for debate, honestly. And it shouldn't be about Lagos alone. If there are other local... See, there are about 5 or 6 states that have already passed first and second reading. If you say they shouldn't create local government, what about the entire states that they want to create? What balance are there? And you didn't complain when there are 7 states in one particular northern region and there are only 5 in the southeast. You're talking about balance. Oh yeah? Tell me about that. Maybe they should scrap one of the states in that particular region so that the southeast gets its 6th state and all the regions are balanced. But no, you won't see that. It's local government that you are going to be talking about. Especially in a place like Lagos where things are working.
Anyway, talking about the Southeast that you mentioned now, the Southeast Caucus of the Senate has now appealed to President Bola Tinubu to honor Professor Humphrey Nwosu by him immortalizing him for his pivotal role in ensuring the historic June 12, 1993 presidential elections held, and also put the elections in the consciousness of Nigerians. So, I actually sat down yesterday and I think I watched a few videos of the conversations that happened in the Senate. You know, the funny thing is that once in a while, when I come across some of these conversations that happens in the National Assembly or sometimes even the States Assembly, at times it kind of is boring. But I would say that it was a very, very robust conversation that happened in the Senate when it came to Professor Humphrey Nwosu. And why I would say that was that everybody had different versions of why they should and why he should not. And it made sense. And that's the honest truth. Let me say the honest truth. To me, the people that felt that he needed to be immortalized, they had their reasons. And their reasons, to a large extent, to me, made sense. Also, the people that felt that he should not be immortalized, I think that their reasons also, to a large extent, also made sense. So that's why I said I feel that it was a very robust conversation. However, the majority said no. Looks like it was just a Southeast issue. And I remember there was something you said yesterday and about how it looked like it was more of an ambush. There was no part where the Southeast senators had lobbied their members, their fellow members, to get what they wanted. And I remember seeing a tweet, like something like that yesterday, and people went off on the guy, and he said that this whole issue just reiterates the fact that politicians in the Southeast do not know how to play politics well. And I think with the amount of things that has happened over this issue in the past 2-3 days, I think I'll get to agree with it. So the Senate says no. Then you are now calling on the president to do what? And I remember you had given an example of the Southwest and how it was a conscious effort with June 12 for years on end before it was finally adopted as a national date. And the question goes on, which I've seen a few people also ask the questions, is that what has the Southeast as a region done to memorialize this person? In your own region, the one that at least you have 5 governors, what has happened there? What roads have you even before I grew up to know that, okay, the Southwest used to take June 12. There was always one road somewhere in the whole, I think to a large extent, I would say that I've been to every state in the Southwest. There's always one MKO Abiola way. There's always one MKO Abiola, maybe somewhere. There's always some edifice or some road or some building. Do you understand that it's in your face that MKO Abiola is immortalized? Do you get? So that's it. what exactly is in the Southeast? And I think that's a very interesting conversation that needs to be had.
You know, I'm just glad that I'd seen this and spoke my mind about it yesterday. And I asked myself openly, do you think that Humphrey Nwosu deserves to be immortalized? My answer is yes. As much as people said he didn't bring out all the results and everything. Look, the one that he released alone was enough for people to know that Abiola was in the lead or had won or was winning or was going to win, depending on how you look at it.
So according to some conversations in the Senate, some people said, yes, that maybe because he was in the military at the point where he was there, he couldn't release everything. That the man just died in the 2000s. Between 1999 and when he died, at some point, he should have said something, wrote it in a book, said nothing.
Okay, now he did not. We're not going to dwell on that if we are looking for solutions. He's gone. We can't know why, except maybe they stumble on his memoirs somewhere in his wardrobe or in his office or something. But based on what we have, and we're all opinionating more or less, we're all analyzing based on the available data and information, I think it deserves to be immortalized. But it is not by naming INEC building after. I don't even think that's a big deal. How many people will go to INEC office in Abuja? Do you understand?
It's still always going to be INEC office.
It will be INEC office now. You get, that's not how it works.
Funny enough, the Ohanaeze Ndigbo has now said they literally slammed the Nigerian Senate over this failure to memorialize the late Humphrey Nwosu. In the statement today, they accused the 10th Senate of showcasing a behavior that reinforces the notion that the civil war against the Igbo people is still ongoing.
I said this yesterday, that all of this was going to come up.
I think this is just
and
gaslighting.
it's because of the way the person that moved the motion went about it. Again, from the onset, you should have done a little bit of, lobbying and politicking about it. But before that, you are from a state in the Southeast. You have access to your governors. Even at local government level. For instance, local governments are actually the ones in charge of naming streets and stuff within their locale. What would it cost you, with your own money, to go to one of the local governments and propose one of the major streets there and pay the official fee and start with that? That's practical. That's one. Two, have you spoken to all the governors? There are 5 independent electoral commissions in the Southeast. All of them have HQs in their capitals. If all the Southeast governors come together and name those 5 after this man, is that not a statement? Is that not immortalization? Then you start like that, but it doesn't work the way you guys are going about it. However, some people have called on the president, and I tell you, that's another way to get it. It doesn't have to be through an act of parliament. The president can actually use, executive orders to immortalize Professor Nwosu. But again, for someone who claims to have been in the house for so long, I'm really shocked at the way
they're going about it, yeah?
He went about it.
Anyway, we'll see. It doesn't look like this conversation is ending anytime soon, but it's a very interesting one, a very full one, and we'll see what would come out of it. Now, let's go and do a bit of gist from the EFCC. The EFCC is really busy. Yesterday, I think there was news that they had reopened the case against Dasuki. Now, today, they are re-arraigning Imam Ali and Christian Taylor for some 2.2 billion naira oil subsidy fraud.
That's a lot of money, a lot of fraud. And again, it looks like they're actually going through their old files.
Yeah.
And they're dusting them up and like, okay, looks like some things have changed and we can actually pull this off.
Yeah.
My own prayer and my own charge to the EFCC is your success rate in the courts must increase. So before you actually dig out these cases, I hope you have enough evidence. The onus of proof is on you. You're the one that is accusing them now of fraud.
Yup. Also, still the EFCC has declared a certain socialite, Aisha Achimugu, wanted for alleged criminal conspiracy.
Yeah. Aisha Achimugu, 51, lives in Abuja, according to the information that the EFCC put out. And they're saying that if you know where she is, that you should inform them. But all we had to do was do a quick search and check Instagram. She still posted about 23.5 hours ago. She's very active on Instagram. It looks like she's abroad at the moment. She's probably on her way back. I don't know, or not.
Maybe not.
You know.
If you are wanted.
And I just looked her up. I'd never heard of this lady until like 2 hours ago. And I looked her up, and the next thing is, she just 3 weeks ago, she was named Entrepreneur of the Year 2025 by the Sun. I think it's the Sun newspapers. You know, there was this flurry of awards from Sun to Silverbird to Arise to Vanguard. All of them had awards almost back to back. So she won an award for Entrepreneur of the Year, and now she's wanted by
the EFCC
for alleged frauds and all sorts of things. The funny thing is, this links most likely to the next story that Dolupo was going to talk about. But the only take for me is, there's a way we all want to succeed in life. And when I say succeed, I actually mean financial. A lot of people want to make it, you know, making it is not necessarily having a good life. It's about having money.
Money, yeah.
And this lady has a lot of money.
Oh, it looks like it.
And she's winning awards as entrepreneur. So something doesn't add up, Sha.
That's my issue with, be careful what you wish for at this point. However, there looks like there's a bit of buzz that is going around while this involving PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar, and I think someone somewhere had alleged that he got some money for his election.
The first time I saw the story, just to add a little bit of insight to what Dolupo said, someone somewhere, the People's Gazette. Sorry, and my guys them big at that time. No, they're not. Actually dropped the story that Sanwo-Olu is in trouble. That's the governor of Lagos with the president. That they found that he sponsored the opposition, against the wishes of the president, according to the People's. And that's where the story broke from. That's where.
So the story popped up there, and
I think Sahara reporters might have.
There's a post from the media team from Atiku denying this blatant, saying that in fact they made a very interesting comment saying that he had never met Governor Sanwo-Olu before.
He has no connections with him, no interaction.
No, if you have no connections, it makes sense. But is it not weird that
were they not in his same party at some point?
Is it not weird that he said that
you
you never
far.
You don't have to go that far? Do you understand? I'm sure that if one googles and checks a few events, you probably have been in
plausible deniability. When you now overstretch it, you box yourself into
do you understand?
a corner.
When I saw it, that was the first thing that popped in my mind. I'm like, Nigerian politicians, I've never met him. Really?
There's a particular line in the Atiku media team's statement that it's a lie from the pits of hell. And I say to myself, this pits of hell again?
Very full.
Eh?
Very, very full.
Just a shell out lies.
Just a shell out lies. But my question with that is, if you're not good, I've not seen anything from Governor Sanwo-Olu. Maybe he doesn't want to what's the word now? He doesn't want to justify or make anybody feel important, so he's just going to ignore. In situations like this, I would have said that you are either ignoring this whole story completely or you sue the people that wrote the story.
2 days ago,
Sue them.
this is an aside. Some person that supports a former presidential candidate of a party that did very well at the last elections, but they didn't win, put out a video and alleged that it was terrorists overrunning or showing off. And as much as everybody kept on responding to this person that this did not happen, that it was Burkina Faso or somewhere, the person did not delete the tweet. And the funny thing, some so-called learned people started retweeting and dropping comments. Oh, even the Nigerian military was forced to put out a statement that this did not happen in Nigeria. It has nothing to do with them. And is this story? So you wonder, why am I bringing this up? I'm bringing it up because the Nigerian army would deny and leave it there, but they have a legal team.
Do you understand? Like, what do your legal teams do?
And Abubakar Atiku would look at it and say it's a Tinubu move. How does this favor Tinubu in any way? If I was Alhaji Atiku, I'll be suing this newspaper, so-called newspaper that dropped this story.
That's it. So, like I said, you're either ignoring it completely, like you're not.
No,
my
advice
radar,
is to sue.
So I'm going to ignore you people, or you sue. But putting out the statement and saying
It's a lie from
that,
the pit
in
of
that
hell.
statement, you seem to make
You've never met
a kind of
before.
fallacious.
So your denials even now make us believe that there's actually no smoke without fire. And guess what? The same lady we talked about a few minutes ago, the Achimugu Aisha, right? Is linked to this story, and they are alleging that she's more or less like a conduit or someone that helped the governor of Lagos to pass money to the former vice president of Nigeria and presidential candidate of the PDP, Alhaji Atiku. So Alhaji Atiku's team has denied it,
because
now we're waiting to see the next move. Now this lady is out there, she's abroad, and she's free. So more or less, there should be some kind of reaction from her too. Or she's going to become a fugitive and run, or she's going to come back and say, "Why are you people declaring me?"
The funny thing is that the funny thing is that when I saw this, to be honest with you, the first time, like, which kind of nonsense story is this from? I think that I actually do believe Alhaji Atiku Abubakar that not because you're going to believe politicians that much, but I think that my thoughts, I think the man has enough money to run his own campaign. I don't think that he needs a governor, Sanwo-Olu, to fund his political campaign. That's what I think.
No. People support campaigns, though. Remember all the stories about how allegedly his vice presidential candidate also chipped in a chunk. Allegedly.
True.
Allegedly.
So, I like I said, I'm not sure I believed that story, but this your statement. You are doing too much. I just think you are doing too much.
But funny thing is, I never heard of this lady before, and suddenly she's all over the whole place now.
Anyway, moving on from that quickly, and let's go to Delta State, where the Delta government has now directed nursing college to withdraw a query against a student that posted a video that seemed like the nursing school students were disrespecting the first lady, and I think it's safe to say that we're now in politics season, and social media is going to be used to, I think social media is now being used to curb a lot of things that things that people will do, a government will do. I know. And why I said so is that when I saw the video, I'm like, it was a tad bit distasteful in my own books. And I'm not sure that I would have thought it wrongly if the girl that posted the video was sanctioned.
No, I don't think it's right. I think that you might say something is distasteful. That so we're talking. I don't know if you guys have seen the video, but we're talking about something that happened in Delta State about 2 or 3 days ago, when the first lady, who happens to be from Delta State, you know, she's Yoruba and she's also from Delta State. She went there on a mission and all of that.
Oh, Dolupo Rogers says free money is good.
Very good. Free money is good. It is. And who doesn't want support? You know? So the first lady actually went to this place in Delta State. And the MC had asked them, maybe before they started releasing the video, they were singing a song, oh, that she's their mother and everything. I know a lot of people refer to the first lady. They do it in Nigeria and other parts of Africa. They say, this is our father of the nation or the mother of the nation or whatever. But it's a choice thing.
Yeah.
If they don't see her as their mother, then she's not their mother. She's not their mother biologically anyway. You get, if they sing something contrary, some of us have done it in the past. Maybe we just didn't record it and put it out online, you know. But at the end of the... No. Speak for yourself. You know, you are very holistic and holy and perfect.
I just don't do those kind of things.
No, yeah, you're such a perfect person.
It's not about me perfect. I just don't.
Yeah, it's about being the best person in the world. We get that. But I'm saying that I've been in situations where maybe they're saying something like, oh, this particular pastor or this particular comedian is Kineko, and I'm muttering something under my breath, but Dolupo has never done that before. But this one that I know.
No, muttering something under your breath is different from
It's not different. It's the same. That's how this thing starts. It's not different.
Okay.
They didn't like the fact that the MC of that event was referring to the first lady of Nigeria as their mother. And they were saying it straight up. I respect their boldness. And I don't think it makes any sense to try to now punish them for that. You know, the school is trying to exonerate themselves. So there's a lady that made a video, one of the nursing students that made a video yesterday, distancing the entire students that no, that they were not the only ones there, and that it didn't happen even in Agbo, that it happened in Asab. She was going on and trying to explain. She was really explaining how they don't support what people saw in that video. That their school, they're not like that, but blah, blah, blah. The video we saw,
it happened, and it was all of you.
And
move on.
A large chunk of you people saying, and she's not your mother, and it's fine. You actually don't need to explain anything. That's the truth. That's the truth about it. You see, we must open our minds to look at how people see things too. They don't have to agree with you.
Yeah,
that's the reason why they are where they are, and that's the reason why you are where you are. So I'm happy that the government told the school to let it go. Let it go. Look, because they are nursing students are known to be contrarian.
Yeah, students will be students.
At a certain stage in your life, you think you know more than your parents. You think you know better than your lecturers. It's a state that we have all gone through. And that's what I was referring to. That when we were in university, we protested.
I'm not protesting. Me care.
Yes, we did. I did. You get?
I go to my house. When they were about to start protest, I carry my bag, I go to my
exactly house. Like I said, you know, goody two shoes, Dolupo.
No, I'm not goody two shoes. I was just a very
all I'm saying,
child. That's it.
Yeah, all I'm saying is that at one point in time in our lives, we have also gone against constituted authority in one form, shape, or whatever. Some people is in secondary school that they've done theirs. Some are still doing it till tomorrow. There are some people, it's their job to be contrarian. They will always contradict and criticize. Some people, that's what their bread and butter is. So these kids are saying she's not their mother. Then she's not. Don't punish them for that.
Okay, so interesting news. Anyway, just wanted to also put it out there that the NNPC announced plans to sell shares to Nigerians.
It's a good thing. I think it's going to be something that will be successful, seeing that the world still needs everything that the NNPC produces. Might be worth investing in. You get? But I just want to use the opportunity to beg them that whatever they can do to provide crude in Naira so that the pump price can come down, they should do it for us too. If it means selling shares, if it's these shares that will make it happen, let us know when you start, we will buy.
Funny enough, I think I'm actually interested in this kind of...
It's going to be a good investment.
I think it will not be.
In my opinion. Yeah. But I'm not asking you to invest, though. Please, this is not sound
I'm not the one
financial
so.
advice. I intend to, for myself, I speak for myself.
Alone.
Okay.
Now, moving on from that, we're going all the way to Myanmar and Thailand, where powerful earthquakes have now rocked these two countries, and at least it's been confirmed about 3 people have already died from them.
I just wish we had a perfect world, but we will never have it. You know, earthquakes here, flooding there, drought in another place. You know, imagine if the world leaders could come together, identify the strengths and weaknesses of everybody, and try to use technology to fix it. You get? Yeah,
it's interesting. Now, coming back to Nigeria, sir, I wanted to put this out there. This is an update from news yesterday. Yesterday, we talked about one of the emirs in Kano had cancelled his plans for Salah Doba and all that. But however, for the second year in a row now, the police have now banned the Salah Doba in Kano over security concerns.
Thank God for the Nigerian police, because this could have led to some form of chaos. A city that now kind of has 2 emirs.
But doesn't this also now start eroding or taking bit by bit out of the... How do I say it now? Doesn't this now start taking out of the culture? Because it's not just a religion thing. It's a culture.
The erosion of our culture did not start with this pronouncement. It started the moment they came to colonize. So what do? We're in a situation where our traditional institutions are inferior. Yes, you might not like the choice of words, but they are inferior to the political structures. And that's the truth. You can't even become a king until a governor of a state says you are a king.
Yeah.
Even if Ifa chooses you, or the entire clan comes together and say you are their Igwe, or you are their emir, or you are their Oba, you cannot become that Oba until the governor says, go and give him a staff of office. So what erosion are we complaining about when everything has already been eroded? You know, so I must say kudos to the police for being proactive, seeing that even if one of the emirs has called off his own Doba, the other one has not spoken. So maybe they were trying to go ahead with it. Maybe the supporters of the first emir that called off his own will not say, no, we called off our own, you can't have your own. It could lead to some breakdown of law and order. And shout out to that northern group from that youth group from the north for avoiding this Kano thing and talking about 37 LCDs in Lagos.
In Lagos, all the way in Lagos.
Shout out to you guys. You guys are on point. When I leave the, you know, just they've talked the one with the Lagos. Now that one concern when I pass. Shout out.
Anyway, let's go all the way to Kaduna State, where it's interesting news that the Kaduna State chapter of the Social Democratic Party, SDP, has now said that the former governor, Nasir El-Rufai, is not a recognized member of their party.
I was talking to...
Wow.
I was talking to my brother on like a family group chat yesterday, group call. And he said that he was telling someone where he lives that Nigeria will give you relief from depression.
Oh yeah, there's premium content.
That if you just follow Nigerianews, and I said, tell them that BoomBar has all of that.
Premium content.
You break it down, you know, and all of that. A man who claims to be a founding member of the current ruling party at the national level, who more or less facilitated the emergence of the current governor of Kaduna, said he's no longer he doesn't recognize that party anymore.
Yeah.
And the party that he recognizes is the SDP. And it happens, in the Bible, a father wanted to bless his first child. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the only bad part is that the Baba had lost his sight. Abi? But guess what? The mother connived with the second son. And the child did some hocus pocus. And the Baba used his last blessing for the second son. Abi? Because that's the one that he recognized. Because he touched him and he felt the fall on his body and said, this is my first son. He's very hairy. Abi? Imagine if the father did not recognize that second son after all the magic that him and his mother did. He would have kept the blessing for the first one.
Where are we getting to?
It doesn't recognize APC. The party that he recognizes does not recognize him. Sorry, sir.
So I have a very interesting
their former
question.
Governor, former minister, former member of PDP, APC, and almost member of SDP.
And it's not funny. Stop.
They say they don't recognize you, sir.
So my issue with this
what are you going to do about it?
So for someone that has been a politician for so long and being a former governor for 8 years, you will know that they say this statement that politics is local, meaning that it's from your ward, yeah? Are we now saying that he did not, for any reason, think that he needed to register properly at the ward level at SDP?
And he's already calling people to come and join him. Wait. This is a similar scenario. Somebody invited you to a party.
Oh my God.
Owambe. You're now in the Owambe. It's not even your party. Somebody invited you. Dolupo is having party.
But you did not get invited.
You now enter the party because Dolupo say, come and celebrate with me. You're not carrying phone. You're not calling everybody. Come and join me at my party.
But you self never enter.
It's Dolupo's party. That's what's happening here. All the people that you invite now, what happened to them? All the people that you see.
Because I'm just saying that isn't it just common sense for you to realize that you
that's me playing a lot. Now let's get down to politics. I think the Kaduna SDP are just speaking their minds, but constitutionally you cannot stop him from joining. So even if he has not made wait oh, why am I being nice? Do you know that this man was telling people that their registration is digital and it's not like the old party he has? Oh God, they say you are not even a member.
Let's move on because you are just being.
It's just the case of somebody that went to inspect land that he wants to buy, and he's already marketing it. He has not even paid for the land. It doesn't even have the C of O. It doesn't even have governor's consent. It does not have.
You're a wicked person.
It doesn't have Iwe money.
Please, we are moving on.
Before she moves on, after all said and done, I respect the capacity of Mr. Nasir El-rufai, His Excellency, and I feel that he still knows what he's doing. And to be very honest with you, if he has that structure that we think he has, if he officially goes to the SDP, they can't stop him from joining. And the funny thing is, with the kind of structure that I think he has, he can actually take over the party from them. It has happened before.
I have a feeling
not
that's
by him,
what is
but by
wrong
other
with,
people.
I have a feeling that's what's wrong with a lot of people in the SDP at the moment.
They are afraid.
Yes.
But their party has become the bride now. Labour Party was the bride, the something bride that they used. I'm trying to look for that phrase. But now it looks like it's SDP. What's their own payoff?
I don't know.
PDP's power. Labour Party is Papa, Mama, Pikin. APC.
No, I'm sure it's not Papa, Mama, Pikin.
What's Labour Party?
I don't know, but I'm sure it's not Papa, Mama.
How much do you want to bet? How much? Children don't do this at home. Don't gamble. She's about to lose. Before you start to use Google, how much?
10,000 naira.
All right, let's go.
slogan of the Labour Party. I'm sure it's not Papa Mama Pikin. How now? Forward ever.
Write Papa Mama Pikin there.
Papa Mama Pikin is the picture on their post. It's not their slogan.
That is not.
It's not their slogan. Please, you're owing me 10,000 naira in the
10,000.
Wow.
Put Papa Mama Pikin there and see what happened.
No. Papa Mama Pikin is the picture on their
Did
logo.
you attend any Labour Party meeting?
I know because I knew for a fact it was not Papa Mama Pikin.
Me that I was there.
But it's not
covering
Papa.
it.
Please.
For the media.
It is in the glare of everybody that Sola Rogers is owing me 10,000 naira.
Google Papa Mama Pikin. Shebi you like to Google. Google it now.
It is not the slogan.
At their slogans, you say, Labour Party, Papa Mama Pikin.
No, it's not their slogan.
There are videos like that.
I'm not saying they're not. Like I said.
That's all I'm saying.
No.
As long as it exists.
No.
She thinks she's the only one that has
Google. No.
Labour Party, Papa Mama Pikin.
You talked about the slogan and the slogan.
I did not even say slogan. I didn't use the word slogan.
So what did you use?
Watch the video again.
It was slogan that you used. And slogan is.
I did not use the word slogan.
Forward
I'm
ever.
saying that they always say.
No, that was not what you said, though. That was not what you said.
That's what they say.
That was not what you said.
But we're going to lose sight of the whole thing. Please stay focused.
You are trying to shift the goalpost. You are shifting the goalpost. This is how fraud starts. EFCC.
I'm a fraudster. Thank you.
Fraud. This is fraud.
Their lyrics, their songs, Labour Party, Papa Mama Pikin, come and chill out. The lyrics of this so-called action is everything.
Nobody is saying that. Like I
Labour
said,
Party jingle, Papa Mama Pikin. And I said it, and this is what they say at their parties.
No, this
at their political rallies. This is what they say. It's what they say.
Slogan. You said slogan.
Labour Party has the song Papa Mama Pikin.
Slogan was
Labour
what
Party,
you
Papa
said.
Mama Pikin.
And it
just Google it. You just like to argue.
You remember
Labour
the part where I said that
Oyoko, Papa Mama Pikin.
Papa Mama Pikin is the picture of what they have
I
on
hereby
their
declare
logo.
I do not own the rights for this song. This video credit is to John Best.
But their slogan is not Papa Mama Pikin.
There's even songs and stuff, and that's what they say.
That's not what that was not what the bet was over.
Now God they advertise.
That was what not the bet was over. Thank you very much. I win.
Papa Mama
you
Pikin
choose
was
to
designed by
you
PDP
choose
members.
to decide not
At the time
to.
you were trying to fight PDP, it means Papa PDP.
You choose to decide.
Please let's move on.
Not
this
to
thing is not
agree with the terms, but it's fine. I will let it go.
Carry on.
But that's the truth.
You go they argue with you don't know. This is where we decide our future.
There's nothing to argue. It was obvious. I just won the bet. Anyway, let's move on to a little bit of sports. Interesting news coming from the Premier League has now announced that they're altering the transfer window to accommodate the Club World Cup.
Even on TikTok.
I thought we were moving on.
Move.
Okay. Still won the bet. Yeah. Clubs in English Premier League are now able to recruit and retain players in a special window between June 1 and June 10th. This is supposed to help them register players for the Club World Cup. So Manchester City and Chelsea will have that opportunity next season. Also, there's a conversation that has been going on since yesterday that looks like UEFA Champions League defending champions might be having a bit of issues with their last of 16 game with Atletico Madrid. There are about 4 players that might get sanctioned if they're found to be culpable with they had said they had made a few funny gestures at the Atletico Madrid fans, and looks like Atletico Madrid is not taking that matter lightly as well. Also, still talking about Real Madrid, the coach is set to face trial for an alleged tax fraud. They're really dealing with a lot of issues. Hello, are we still at the back?
Yeah, carry on.
No, but I've been saying like 3 things. You've not said anything about it.
Yeah, what's there to say? What's next?
Sports.
Yeah, now move on to the next one.
Okay. Anyway, so like I said, Real Madrid coach, it looks like Real Madrid is not having it easy right now. First, the players, and now the coach. Also, CAF has now named Egypt the under-20 AFCON host, as Côte d'Ivoire has pulled out. They pulled out yesterday, and Egypt is now on for that. Also, Novak Djokovic has now moved on to semi-finals of the Miami Open, and he has now become the oldest Masters semi-finalist ever in history.
CAF, I think you guys were too, in too much of a rush to name Egypt. You could have maybe thrown the bid. I know they always have countries on standby. I get that, but this was something that you probably should have thrown open. Maybe we would have decided to help you out and hosted in Nigeria. We could have helped you guys, but you went and gave it to Egypt. But it's okay. It's all right. We will not dwell on it. I'm particularly happy for Novak Djokovic because at the last Grand Slam that he was at, he didn't go exactly to plan. And people have started talking about him, resigning and pulling out of the game completely. But the resilience that he has at his age, now he's the oldest person to make it to the semifinals at the Miami Open. It's actually a massive deal. It's huge that, even when his peers and his content, one of his rivals is his coach, kind of one of his trainers, to show you his staying power, longevity, and everything. And now here he is again on the cusp of glory. Fingers crossed, maybe by Monday we'll be talking about Novak, the winner.
Yeah, we'll see that too. And finally, because before we go, Spanish court has now overturned footballer Dani Alves' rape conviction.
To be honest with you, you hear a lot about these court cases and how it almost seems as if they're so quick to pass judgment. And you now hear about reversals and stuff. And you're like, okay,
what were you thinking before?
Yeah, why were you in a hurry in the first place?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just really happy for him because he's had this hanging over. After having such an amazing career as a footballer, to end it in controversy,
in that
would have more or less wrecked his legacy and all of that. But I'm happy for him now that the court has made these pronouncements and everything, because at times, things are not what they seem. And there seems to be, the Spanish courts, they seem to be on a different level. There's a whole lot of people who's played in Spain that maybe even years after you hear that they have one court case or the other.
Yeah.
Tax evasion, this and that. You're like, okay, wait. What happened when the person was there? Was it Mourinho? The list is endless.
I agree. I agree.
So,
anyway, on that note, that is all we have to take today on The Bar. Thank you for listening. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back on Monday. I'm guessing by Monday it will be public holiday in Nigeria already. But I think the fasting should have ended by that time. So people are going to be celebrating. It's going to be celebrations galore. So I hope that we all have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. I will be back here on Monday to give you another wonderful edition of the BoomBar. Do have a beautiful, beautiful day ahead.
Peace.